Hello everybody, Reggie Time here, and we are playing a, Saturday morning, Friday night, Saturday morning 20NL cash session on Sky Poker. Not sure the tables are going to have tons of legs. We may be slipping some 10NL or 13L in should any of the tables break. This table looks like it might break at some point. Really quite surprised there's no regulars taking these empty seats, given we have two very recreational players at our table. We're not complaining, but when there's regs around, not many to be fair, but when there are regs around and there's empty seats, I think it does demonstrate just what a lot of Sky regulars do wrong. They'll grind lots of tables against themselves and leave lots of tables like this just ripe for picking by bum hunters like me, which is just fine by me, I guess. A good shot here. Backdoor diamonds, probably not worth much, but we're going to peel once. Oh, now we have an open ender. Now it's getting fruity. This guy doesn't typically bet very big. I think we're just going to keep calling. He's a face if he's got an ace. He's literally never folding it. We may as well just take our kind of reasonable pot odds and decent implied odds and try and get there. We do not get there, and we shall now be check folding. He bets really small here. If he was any good, I'd be tempted to boom, make it up to £5 and just watch him fold, but don't trust him. Don't trust him to fold an ace, so we'll just let it go. Min raise and a call. Another fish in the blind here. And we just try and take a flop in position with our pretty nice hand. We get a pretty nice flop. Up here on table 2 we're going to try and slightly thin this field. 2 overs, a flush draw versus a half pot bet. Pretty easy call. This guy's been donking a lot. But there's just not much we can do with ace queen. This guy bets much bigger on the turn. I was thinking of raising the turn. But given that he's kind of upsized a little bit, we're just going to call again. Good chance I'm going to bluff at this river if he checks. He doesn't check though, so he's just obviously got a very strong hand, one would imagine. And we'll just let it go. Fish raise under the gun, then triple barrel, increasing the bet size each time. It's usually a good indication that they are strong. This guy's just deciding to fire £63 into the pot, which is interesting. I think he could have raised the flop on there, kind of as a freeze play. You don't want to do that against regulars, because regulars will just get caught on quite quickly and then abuse you for it. But I think against fish, maybe you can make small raises with draws just as like a freeze play to just try and get to see free turns and free rivers. Well, not free turns, but get to see free rivers and realise all your equity. If we'd have raced to say he bet 75, we'd have raced 2. We might have just seen both cards for our £2 rather than paying 75 and then 225. Well, I don't know. I think it's a good play against fish. I think it's a bad play against regulars. We do not get there with our flush draw here. Problem is we block a lot of his draws. You have a 7, we have 2 hearts. I just don't think he's going to have too many draws. Better bluff him off. Queen 6. He would have folded the Queen 6 for sure. He would, well, I say for sure, who knows? Maybe he wouldn't have. Maybe he wouldn't have. Flop nothing on table 3 with our Jack 10. No pair, no draw. No bet. I'm going to certainly open Queen 9 suited at a table with 4 green tag players. It's kind of loose from middle position, but plenty of green tags at the table. Only one regular. I don't know too much about, to be honest. It seems kind of tight and kind of straightforward. Game we completely break. We've had 2 callers. We do have some backdoors this time at least, but we're not going to get a chance to realise them because he's laid out for just about full pot, and we have Queen High. Again, another multi-way pot. This is one of the frustrations of Sky. You never really get too many opportunities to make too many like light C bets, because usually there's 1,000,001 people in the pot. This guy's let out really small here, but there's nothing at all we can do with that Queen Jack. Again, another heavy multi-way pot. We have a pair and a cut shot. I'm just going to check back. We now have trips, which is not unpleasant. And this player leads up with £2. Bets with draws, so we're certainly going to try and charge him here. That was what my note said. You would have seen that because it would have been blanked out. But my note is that he bets with draws. So we're going to hope he calls or goes all in. And then we're going to hope to see a deuce of diamonds on the river. Folds. We have 2 10s here in a limped pot, blind versus blind. I'm going to check back the flop. We're going to bet the turn now and probably just check back river if we get called, unless we improve to a non-diamond 10. We probably bet a diamond 10 too if checked to. Two sixes. We'd like this to go multi-way. It's one of the hands you'd like to go multi-way with. Make sure you get decent value if and when you flop a set and it is the best hand. We do not flop a set, so the emission is suspended. Still checking. Pretty much you just have to be like relatively passive in these games, because like so many pots go multi-way, and but when you're in multi-way pots you just need to be kind of nutted if you want to be like putting bets in, and you want to be like having pretty strong hands to be calling bets. Nothing much else you can do. There's not an awful lot of bluffing going on in multi-way pots. It's really hard to try and bluff 2 or 3 people out on Sky. So we're not going to be doing an awful lot of bluffing in multi-way pots. In fact, the only bluffing that we probably are going to be doing will be with like significantly strong draws. And it's kind of hard to go for value that's too thin as well. Like, I mean, if I had, for example, aces and a race under the gun, and I got like three or, well, yeah, just say three callers, I wouldn't be in a big rush to be putting lots and lots of money in the pot post flop. Probably be looking to try and negotiate my way to showdown as cheaply as possible. If flops check through and what have you, we'd be able to go for possibly some value on later streets, but you certainly wouldn't catch me betting too many flops, unless all the players had like relatively small stacks where we were just willing to play for stacks. But 100 blinds deep, assuming I raise 3x pre and get 4 callers, I'm not going to be going value hunting too much post flop. We have a pair and a gut shot here. This play's been relatively passive, but hopefully let us see some free cards, allow us to realise our equity if we're behind and not charge us too much. So we totally lost the plot there. But yeah, hopefully just let us not bluff us, basically. Guess that's what I'm saying. I mean, for 20 pence, it's a price I can call. And then he bombs the river, and there's just nothing we can do with our Jack Queen other than muck it. I mean, it's probably one of the best hands that we turn up with here. Kings will be another one. So we are kind of folding pretty much the top of our range there, but I'm not too worried about that. Not against like super passive players. Not sure how long the video is going to last for. You guys will already know, of course. I'm not sure. Probably just as long as the games stay good and I don't get bored of talking, I guess. And the fish goes broke to the regular, which is never a nice sentence to say or think in your head. Very deep here with the ace-9 suited, like 250 bigs deep, 300 bigs deep with the fish. I'm going to see a flop. I'm going to try and see a flop. Completely miss, as seems the norm so far. 2 9s here. We're going to bet check back turn if he calls and then see what happens on the river. Good turn card for us. Not an ideal river. We weren't beat by the queen. We could be beat by the 6 now, beat by the flush. In fact, we beat very little at this point. 4-5. 5-7. 5 deuce. It's not fair when a blue tech limp folds. That just doesn't seem fair. It should be borderline illegal, I think. Let's try again. Get 3-bet, pretty big by green tag player. In fact, very big by a green tag player. Like they're flipping or dead here. And that's not a situation that I like. Mm. 6x open by a green tag. King Queen is going to go in the bin for the 6x. This guy was doing a lot of bluffing earlier. Try and get to showdown. Capable of turning up with some incredibly random stuff. It just doesn't make sense as a bluff, but he does it anyway. Don't like it too much, but it's an easy call. Wow, he just leads out again. This guy likes his leading out, does... Oh, I can't say his name, can I? I'm not allowed to say his name. TK will ban me. Let's see what he led out with here, though, if possible. We're not going to get to see by the look of it. King 8 suited from effectively the cut-off with an under the gun limp is going to be an isolation race. Ace King offsuit is going to be a 3-bet. Small c-bet with our nothing on table 3. Time to get there. Oh! You'd just rather not hit there, wouldn't you? You'd just rather not hit than hit and get rivered. You know, just happily jamming. Happily 4-bet jamming the whatever it was. 70 bigs. Jam 70 BB pre with 7-7. Double gut shot here on table 3. Limped pot. Make the nuts on the turn. Not a nice river. It's a pretty easy bet fold, is it? Is it an easy bet fold? Is it just a check? Probably just a check. Fold to a large bet. He snap checks back, so we're obviously going to win. Hope we didn't have an ace there. That'll sting if he had an ace. No, he had 9-8, which was Just bottom pair. Be aware this is now a different player in the small blind here. So if he doesn't donk or does donk, we take it at face value for this player rather than the player that was previously there. And the A7 mows down the rigs. Top set, which is funny. This dude's got his all-in dancing shoes on. Bear that in mind for upcoming hands. King Jack, rather than like 3-bet here, have him possibly jam on us again. I'm just going to call. Not improve, unfortunately. This guy certainly tests your patience when you go through a spell of not connecting with flops in any shape or form. People do some weird shit on here. Give him a chance to go all in by 3-betting. Just calls. Right, how much has he got? 11. So we want to get this in 2 streets. Bet like 260 here. He calls. Can we then shove turn? Just about, I think, can't we? It becomes a non-issue. I don't really want to 3-bet 10s this deep. We're not going to get an awful lot of folds. I'm going to be left with just a pair of 10s most of the time. Make a small raise here with our top pair top kicker against a fish. Can't really bet a game with our 10s on table 2. Easy shove on the river here. On table 1. We have a relatively simple bluff catch here too. Only he had 8-9, so he wasn't bluffing. bit more spice on this raise, given that we are trying to isolate two limpers and we're in the worst position. Bet flop jam turn is the line. Or just bet flop. That's a big old all in. What's bam? What's this man gonna do? Almost said his name. Oh! Almost said his name. The guy's moving chips. Gonna fold the ace here. Lose to lots of his ace x, lose to all of his king x. Of course. Flop a top pair. Interesting start. I think we're going to need to raise it versus that sizing. Probably cry and call if he jams. Hope he doesn't have a set. Just 2 sevens. And we win. We'll take that. Obviously his play there is absolutely terrible. But we won't complain. This is why we play in these games. Gotta defend the king 7 versus this guy. It's the same player who's we just filtered. We have 2 9s. Don't really want to get it in pre, so we'll just call. Hit the straight card that we didn't really want to hit. I think our hand is, well, I think it was weak anyway, but it's not a particularly attractive proposition right now. Quarter pot, I mean, we just have to call and just hope. It's not quarter pot this time though, is it? It's closer to half pot. Do I think he's betting like 2 pairs over here? No. So is he pure bluffs? I guess that's what we've got to ask. He did raise pre, he's got plenty of ace x. We'll just let it go. Set please, table 4. Oh, we got one as well. We asked and we received. This Gaz has been quite aggressive, so we're actually going to check to him here and try and get a check raise in and get a lot of money in against just ace x. I'll try to. Gaz! What are you doing to me, Gaz? Oh shit, and then I just said his name. I didn't say his whole name though, so that's okay, I guess. What's this player's notes? Flat ace ace, donk flop, face up post flop. So basically he's capable of like slow playing hands pre and leading, and my note says he's pretty face up post flop. With that in mind, we're just going to let the eights go. Hopefully our note will prove to be right and I look like a genius. Yep, he had the 7. So, chalk one up for the note taking. Chalk one right up for the note taking, in fact. Happy days. If you take notes and develop reads, you're kind of duty bound to stick to them, otherwise don't take the note. I mean, a lot of you guys will be sat thinking, what a fucking insanely tight fold that is. Pocket 8, 9, 7, 7, just fold to one bet. But if your note says that your man's capable of slow playing strong hands pre and then donking them and also just face up post flop, then all of a sudden 2-8s don't look anywhere near as nice given that read. I'm really quite pleased with that. Very pleased we caught it on video. One of the things I bang on about tons to the people I work with is note taking. What do you know about your opponent? What do you know? And so often I just get the response of not a lot, not a lot, not a lot. And why? Why don't we know a lot about these people? I get it if you're playing on a site where you've got a HUD and you've only got, say, 40 hands, right? Fair if we don't know a lot about this guy. But more often than not, the response is, what do you know? Nothing. Don't know anything, really. And to be frank, that just isn't good enough. Poker's a game of like information. Information is just so much power in poker, and if you're not collecting and retaining information on your opponents, then you're leaving some money on the table. Just hope Jen doesn't have aces, otherwise he's going to win £27, assuming that we don't get there. Oh, I said someone's name again. I really need to behave myself with that. That is a top set though. That is nice. With a pretty big bet. Just hope he has something. Don't want to give free cards on this board really. Want it to be a jam turn, super comfortably. He just folds. I mean, I guess we could have gone smaller there. Against a regular, I would 100% go smaller, but not against a green tag. I mean, it's kind of hard for him to have too much, I guess, with us having the top set, but who knows? Maybe as a set of tens, maybe he just has a flush draw and goes crazy. Jack, Queen. I'm not one for getting tricky and arsing around against fish. Me have best hand. Me make big bets. That's kind of how it goes down. We've got the nuts here on table 4. No, we don't. We have the second nuts, but it's close enough. Just going to go all in here, I think, against this player. All kinds of hands he can call with. King 10 being one of them. And he gets there. Which is most disappointing. Our friend here goes all in. We have the easy call. And he is drawing quite strong. Stronger than I wanted him to be anyway, but the poker gods taketh away with one hand, they return with interest with another. Hopefully you guys take note that every big pot we've lost so far two of them to suckouts and one to a flip, my demeanour hasn't changed one bit. And that's not because I'm on video, it's just because that's how you have to be in these games. I see so many. I mean, I will sometimes fake tilt in the chat box and type some nonsense, but very rare. If I get tilted, I just quit. I don't carry on playing. You just got to be, pragmatic about these things. You're playing at a very fishy site. You're going to see all kinds of like nasty suckouts, and you've got to cope with it basically. And if you don't cope with it, then poker probably isn't the game for you. Although of course it's disappointing when you lose 100 big blind pot. I'm not going to say it's not disappointing and you're not allowed to be disappointed. Just don't allow that disappointment to negatively impact on the quality of your play. Big open. I'm going to go with a big 3-bet with the ace king on table 3. Take it down. I don't mind that with ace king pre-flop. It's a fine result. Pretty wet board here. We have 2 overs and a gut shot. Against a regular, I would strongly consider check raising. Against a fish, we're just going to call and try and hit, I guess. If you bet smallish on this turn, I could definitely see myself going for a check raise. Still tempting. No, it was genuinely tempting, but check raise bluffing against fish that double barrel on wet boards probably isn't the way to get the job done on Sky. It was close. I was really genuinely. I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, I could do this, but I'm not going to this time. That was really close to pulling the trigger there. I mean, the 7's a way better card for us than it is for him. Theoretically, in practice, does he recognise that and make a big fold sometimes, or does he just never recognise it and just never fold if he has a hand? If he has like an overpair there, or if he has a top pair. I'd need to like see him be capable of folding in that spot. Say we had a value hand there and we check raised. I'd need to see him fold after double barreling before I wanted to try and get some check raise bluffs through. a 3-bet here just to isolate on table 2. Both the regulars here are reasonably active. I think if we were to just call there, we're going to get squeezed. Not a huge amount, but a reasonable amount. Set off with the small bet here. He calls. Snap calls, in fact. I think the donk's coming on the turn. I knew the donk was coming on the turn there. Doesn't matter, we have 10 high, we don't care. And just knew that donk was coming. It looks like we missed a big pot down here. Well, you guys might not have missed it, but I certainly missed it on table 4. Wow, this guy's lost all his. We're not paying attention to what's going on at these tables. This guy had 70 quid not so long back. Looks like he's dumped it all on the regular. So he'll be looking to apply the finishing touches to him. Maybe if I'd known he was on the back of losing lots of pots, I would have maybe 3-bet him there with the ace jack and maybe got it in super light pre against somebody who may well be steaming. Disappointing when a relatively tight player 4x is under the gun. Last time I saw him 4x, I think he had 2 queens. And you get a fish that calls and no one's interested. I know we made our squeeze pretty big, but that's what we're meant to do when we're in pots with fish. You don't just make it like 240 there and get 2 callers and then it's nice, but you are trying to like hopefully fold him out and get him in. Oh, almost donked them by mistake. Thought it was a limped pot with the ace 4. He's not a limp pot, so we shall not be donking. Called here just because he may well be steaming. Oh, he's bombed it. He's bombed it. We have the nut flush. We only lose to full houses. Call. We could have got more maybe. Check call here. Oh, I was going to check shove turn. Now we don't really need to. And our friend is drawing dead. What a shame, he delivers a boat and still doesn't win. I very rarely call 3-bets out of position with small pairs, but there are times when I will make an exception. One of those times is when we are slightly deeper than 100 big blinds. Another one of those times is when I think my opponent is a bad player or steaming. Both of those conditions were met then, so it was a fist pump get it in. Well, not fist pump, but it was a no. We're not talking about fist pump getting. It was a easy call, and then obviously once we flop gin, the rest of the hand just plays itself. Now the question is, do I want to battle super mega deep with 2 regulars over 1 fish? That is the question I am now asking myself. Guess we'll see how it goes. If it starts getting really entrenched in like 3-bet wars, then I'll probably just fuck off, to be honest with you. 3 regs, 1 fish. It's an okay ratio if the regs are sensible. It's not an okay ratio if the regs are wanting to get into who can piss highest up the wall contests. Don't think this fellow ever checks back an ace here with this dude in the pot. We do have a good shot, but there's 2 flush draws out there, and we're not getting anywhere near a good enough price to call. And this dude probably has a king here a lot of the time, given the line he's taken so far. Now I think he doesn't have a king anymore because I don't think he bets a king on the river. He's going to bet this turn card here, just like charging he draws, charging his slightly worse hands. 10-7, 10-9, etc. Fall to a raise. Wow, we did check back an ace on the flop. That does surprise me. Rotten river here. Hope we're good. Hope he just has a hand like pocket 7 or something like that, and then we just get to win at showdown. I think we might lose to like ace 10, king 10 here a reasonable amount of the time. Ace 9. Not a big fan of his call on the turn there, to be frank. Yeah, he had a good shot, but he must have an impression of me that maybe isn't too accurate if he's calling me that like with just a good shot and like overcards on that board texture. We min raised here when we really didn't want to min raise. This dude donk then 3-bet jam 7s earlier, didn't he? Was this the same player? Can't remember. If it isn't, I haven't taken the note, then I really need to tell myself off. His bet called. I think we're just going to like bet again for like value from 9x here, and then just check back rivers. And we're just going to fall to the min raise because we can't call rivers. If this was like the last street of the hand, we would probably just sigh and call, but don't call then check min raise turn. Come on, seriously. Just going to fold the 3s to Ryan here. Wherever he's got a ton of equity. Just overly to try and flop a set against the fish. This player whose name I mentioned again, but again I didn't mention his full name, so hopefully TK won't ban me. This dude's side lost now, and that's it. Well, that really is game over now. It's try and find another table time. Hopefully 20 and L. If not, we 10 or 30. 30's been pretty crap lately, to be honest. It's been all regulars, which is why I mentioned the 10 and L before the 30 and L. Leave the table there while we try and find something else. How about this one? 2 regulars, 2 fish. So tables are going to have something of a switcheroo now about them. So every table's move around, or some of the tables have moved around clockwise, anti-clockwise even. Who knows? They've moved a bit. You'll soon catch on. Do we value bet our queen on the river here? I guess we just go value bet it small. Didn't expect to get called by worst very often there, but we played the hand plenty passively enough where we could hopefully just get called by any pair. All of a sudden table 3 is not looking too clever. We're 1, 2, 3 regulars, but we do have a blue tag. Although we do not have position on the blue tag. (2:20 in the morning). I need to be up for 10 a.m. too, which isn't nice on a Saturday. I don't like needing to be up for 10 a.m. but I see my kids, and before I see them, I want to, boring as it might sound, attend a Labour Party meeting in the town a few miles away. One of my friends is a prospective Labour Party candidate in the next general election, and he's having a meet and greet there tomorrow with the other prospective candidates, so I'm going to pop down for half an hour, show my face, give him some support, drink some weak free tea and some crappy biscuits. Won't drink the biscuits, of course, I will eat them. So we have blue tag player raise UTG, Reggie small blind 3 bet. This is a player from the deep stack table earlier who bust. It's the same player here. We flop pretty good. No notes on this guy, but I'm pretty sure he's aggressive, so we're going to see if we can induce something. We're just going to check and keep calling. If he checks back turn, we're just going to bet river. No, he can't have any 5x, or you wouldn't imagine he could have much 5x given his race under the gun and called a 3 bet. We're just going to try and get some value here on the river. He bets flop, checks back turn, he min raises. Wow, he does have a 5. How does he have a 5? That, or he has queen jack. And we just have to pay this off, but we're going to lose. Oh, we're not going to lose. There we go. Then we're not going to lose. He just decided to min raise air on the river. I did mention that people did weird things on Sky, didn't I? That was definitely plenty weird. Cham's there, he probably just takes it. I was kind of reticent to call the min raise. I thought, we're fucking dead here. But fortunately we did call. Gut shot here, but again we're getting a pretty crap price on the paired board, so let it go. Got a new headset because my old microphone had a loose wire that was fucked. It's making my ears very sweaty. I struggle with dry skin at the best of times, and super sweaty ears that will therefore then dry out later. I don't really have my ears covered in Sudocrem all weekend. Can do without that in my life. Set mine. Come on, the deuce. Last time we ordered a set for table 4, we got it, didn't we? Didn't get me ordering in time. Come on, the deuce is not saying set table 4, please. It didn't get the wording right, so therefore we didn't get rewarded. Are you going to be rewarded by having the best hand at showdown? That is now the question. No, we're not. We are absolutely not going to have the best hand at showdown. I need to get this fucking off my ear a little bit. There we go, that's a bit better. I mean, if these games run all night, I guess I'll play all night, but I won't be thanking myself in the morning. It's okay when you have the all night sessions and you book £100 win or something. feels pretty good. But when you're still up grinding at like 6:30 in the morning and you finish your session, you check the cashier and you've like lost 30 quid or something, and then you feel like shit all day Saturday, or whatever the next day is, then it doesn't feel like too much of a good idea. And the wife will come down, I'm still awake, she'll get up in the morning. How come you're still up? Oh, I've been playing all night, love. Did you win? Nah, I lost 37 quid, 26 pence. And she'll just like, well, why didn't you just quit earlier? Blue tags, love. Blue tags. Gotta chase the blue tags. Ace queen in the bin. Ace 5 in the call against the guy who's a bit weird. Then he rivers 2 pairs and decides not to call. And decides not to bet. Oh dear, sir. You're doing things the wrong way around. 4x open. Is that coming in here? To 4x open of the fold. The 4x open comes. Not a lot we can do here. It's either a 4x open or a min raise. Never a min raise blind versus blinds. Sometimes a min raise, but usually a 4x from this player. He's a very regular. Gets the orange tag because I think he has some big mistakes in him from time to time, but he's generally solid. Generally a solid player that has the occasional, like we all do, I guess, but I don't know. There's something about him makes me think he's not like a really good regular. Seems like a nice guy, mind. Should probably just tag him red just out of politeness. If he ever watches videos and sees himself, figures out who he is, sees himself tagged orange, probably won't be too flattered by it. Corley, this could be a 3-bet, a decent chunk of the time, but with 2 pretty big whoppers in the blinds, then it's just always going to be a call. I can certainly see myself raising this flop. It's something of a problem if this dude goes all in, because we're not going to have anywhere near the right odds to call, but I'm going to raise on this flop. Hopefully he gives us like a lot of credit for having like a ton of sets and things and what have you. He absolutely snap called, which is not going to encourage me to continue with my bluff on this brick turn. And I think we're going to lose here to an overpair. I'm going to take our showdown value though. Ace 9. I mean, we were bluffing, so I guess it justifies his call, but again, it's not something I do very often. I think, like, I mean, I should have the image of like one of the world's biggest nits in these games. I make plenty of videos playing very nitty poker, but I still just get absolutely no credit on my bluffs, which is a shame because I'd like more. I was hoping to like store my nit points up to get me some credit from time to time, but evidently it's not the case. For the record, I think Ace 9 is pretty rancid open from the cut off to Ace 9 off, even though there are fish in the blinds. Just a rotten hand. We're fine to defend top pair on some board textures, but on like super dry board textures you get raised by a nit. I don't know. Maybe his call's fine. Maybe I'm getting it all wrong. not sure table 1's a particularly good table at the moment. This guy doesn't seem good, but he doesn't seem loose. Yeah. If we can find a better table, we'll swap table 1 out. I think I have located a better table. But now we're heads up against the green tag. Maybe we just keep it in. Oh, I didn't mean to sit out. I'm back, sir. Don't leave. My heads up game is far from wonderful, by the way. I make a ton of mistakes, probably, which is why I only do it against players that I think are significantly worse than me. That is one big 4-bet. Table 4 is now beyond useless. Double cut shot table 1 and lead out. Not the best of turn cards. I think we're just going to stab again and then just shut down if we don't hit the 7 or maybe a 10. Probably shutting down on anything but a 7 actually. Maybe check calling on some 10s and 9s. We just left that table and maybe we could have stayed, but we have another table to swap in that's much better anyway. So let's get rid of this one and bring this one in. Dude's doing an awful lot of 3-bet and it's just not a game I can be asked to play. If he continues much longer, we'll just let him go because I'm far from familiar with which ranges we should be continuing with and not in heads up pots. Fish or no fish, if I'm not knowing what I'm doing versus somebody's playing pretty aggressively heads up, and irrespective of whether they think I'm a better player than him, if his heads up strategy is confounding me because I just don't really know what to do, then there's no fucking shame in just saying, you know what, I don't really know what to do against you, so I think the first thing we should probably start doing is min opening rather than 3xing. I mean, do we bet second pair heads up? Is that a viable ploy? Do we double barrel second pair on wet boards on turns heads up? If we had a better kicker, maybe we could. I'm not sure with this kicker we should be. He's not 3-betting it, right? So what the fuck's he 3-betting with then? Has he just been like having a couple of good hands? He's decided to 3-bet with? If he's not 3-betting ace queen suited, but he seems to be 3-betting at a reasonable frequency, then I don't fucking know. I don't know. I'd rather not be playing heads up on video, to be completely honest. Look at the guy. Thankfully someone else is joining. I don't know. I mean, is this just a fucking jam versus his min raise? Is it a jam? Is it a call? It's not a call. Probably just a fold. Fuck knows. No idea. I like my heads up to be against like loose passive fish, not against fucking warriors. Pretty nice draw here. We're going to be looking to try and put some money in the pot. At this point, if he raises, we're just going to commit to a hand as strong as flush draw and a good shot against a blue tag player. We know we're not getting it in super great there, but we're certainly not going to be getting it in super bad either. You know, I think I'm actually going to continue playing, but I think an hour's long enough for a video anyway, isn't it? Who really? I mean, if we make like a 2.5 hour video, let's just put it to the test. If you've reached the end of the video, and it's going to end when I finish this sentence, just about, if you've reached the end of the video, put in the chat box, put in the comment section beneath the video your favourite soap actor or actress. Put their name in there at the end, and we'll count up. And if we get more than 10 comments, then maybe more people reach the end of videos, and I believe do. So yeah, we're going to knock the video on the head. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's certainly been a lot more interesting than a lot of the speed poker sessions. And if it gets plenty of thumbs up and likes and comments and what have you and views, then we'll do some more. They're a bit more of a ball ache to edit on Sky, and they look fucking super untidy. But yeah, I like doing them more than videos on most other sites. Feel like I've certainly got more knowledge to impart based on on the games. I feel like I understand these games way better than I understand like snap games and speed poker games. So I prefer making them. I feel like I'm more of an authority on these games, but they don't always do that well. So we'll see. We're going to finish up by overlimping this Queen 8 suited, and if nothing else interesting happens in the meantime, then we're going to end the video. Don't raise, thank you. Now we've got the gut shot and the 2 overs with the King Queen here. Checks back, so this player probably doesn't have a strong hand. I'm going to take a relatively big stab. Just hope to take it down. And then this is definitely going to be the last hand unless we pick up aces or a set somewhere. 10 ball. Just there, please. Right where my cursor is. Oh, boom. It came as well. See, if you ask, you get. This is what a lot of you guys are probably doing wrong. You don't put your cursor there and ask for a particular card. Now I'm going to be fucking double cheeky and go for a check raise. be a really greedy bastard. Because there's like lots of draws that have missed, and he can maybe have riveted some 2 pairs that may call a raise. Please don't tank and check. Oh, he's gone for the big bet. He's gone for the big bet. He went for the big bet. He went for the big bet, and we had the nuts, and we got a check raise to Ryan. What a glorious way to end the video. So yeah, I think we'll leave it there. Girls and boys, I hope you all have a great weekend and a great week, and we'll see you again soon with another video. Bye bye for now.